On tonight's CTV News, a crane causes trouble for commuters, the Christchurch City Council's chief executive clocks up 100 days in her new job, and local children are being encouraged to take up cricket. This is CTV News. I'm Grant Mangan. A toppled crane closed off one of the main streets in the city today. Emma Cropper has more.
It was a lucky escape for a local rebuild worker after his crane toppled sideways. The early morning incident closing off Victoria Street for the day. The crane, operated by Thermosash, fell sideways at the Ganellan building site on Victoria Street next to Knox Church. The building under construction is a $14 million project which will become a campus-style office and retail space. An area manager for Thermosash told the press he understood the crane was placing its second load when the first of its 3 computerised alarm systems went off, alerting the driver that something was wrong. The crane had undergone a standard check this morning before work started. WorkSafe New Zealand says it shows that safety in the rebuild was improving.
There's a huge amount of awareness around safety, and we're really pleased with what we're seeing. Unfortunately, things sometimes do go wrong, but as the regulator, we're here to try and ensure that practice meets the legislation.
The Canterbury Rebuild Safety Charter is a joint initiative between local construction companies and the government. The charter consists of 10 commitments, including hazard awareness and site-specific safety plans, signed by 39 leaders in the rebuild and endorsed by 12 others. WorkSafe are undertaking an investigation on today's incident. Emma Cropper, CTV News.
Government-appointed commissioners have been running Environment Canterbury for the past 4 years, but the Prime Minister is hinting they could be replaced.
Democracy may be restored to Environment Canterbury sooner rather than later. Prime Minister John Key says the Canterbury Region's council elections could be held in the next year after public consultation. Democracy was lost in 2010 when the elected Environment Canterbury councillors were sacked for dragging its heels over water management and resource consent issues. 7 commissioners, led by Dame Margaret Baisley, were appointed. Elected councillors were due to return in the 2013 local body elections, but the commissioners' time at ECAN was extended until 2016. Now Prime Minister Key says a discussion document on the council would be released by the end of the year, which could see that election brought forward a year.
I think it's been long enough now. I would imagine that the problems that were there before have been sorted out by now.
Great idea. Great idea.
Why is that?
Yeah. Well, it's all about the environment, isn't it? Especially with what's going on in Canterbury today.
Key told Radio New Zealand he would like to see democracy restored to ECAN. He says there were 2 options, including restoring total democracy or a mixture of the two for a period of time.
I think a bit of both. In the meantime, maybe a transition between the two, maybe a year or so with Commissioner there so you get a smooth changeover, but I think ultimately it needs to get to elected people.
Probably people who are elected on the board, I'd say.
I think it's just a good public Canterbury should get their say.
Because we're the people it affects, so we should say who gets in.
Haven't thought about it, to be quite honest with you. I wouldn't like to give an opinion on that, but I think it should be brought forward, certainly. I'd like to see people voted in by the public.
And why is that?
I think you get a broader outlook on things.
Emma Cropper, CTV News.
100 days have passed since the Christchurch City Council's new chief executive signed up for the job. So what's it been like for her? Marcus Gibbs found out.
Dr Carleen Edwards marking a milestone, 100 days at the Christchurch City Council.
It has been a whirlwind and it's gone very quickly, but it's been immensely enjoyable.
The new chief executive claims she has the most interesting job in the country as she oversees a council rebuilding from within.
It's a big, complex job.
Knowing what she knows now, she still wouldn't have turned down the job 100 days ago.
I'm enjoying it so much that I'll definitely take it on and recommend it.
She says it has similarities to her previous role as the Chief Executive for the Commission for Hospital Improvement in the Victorian Department of Health.
Oddly enough, most of the issues are exactly the same, so they're very familiar to me. Things such as increasing demand, increasing expectations, tight financial situation.
That financial situation is one that that won't be solved overnight. A potential $800 million black hole needs to be filled in, but whether it's asset sales or increasing rates that gets the city back in the black, she wants ratepayers to decide.
The Cameron report came up a whole range of options, from rates increases to releasing capital from our asset base and a range of other things. And I think that's a conversation we need to have with the community about that.
After 100 days, she now has a much clearer understanding of her job, overseeing New Zealand's second largest city council.
So internally, I think it's been a focus on terms of understanding what we need to do, setting some direction, and particularly around some cultural changes and changing the traditional ways that we work.
When it comes to whether the City Council will get its consenting accreditation back before Christmas, she says this will depend on how an assessment scheduled for next month turns out.
I'm not sure of the actual process in terms of whether they give us the accreditation then, but I think my expectation is that we'll have passed.
She has goals for the future of what she hopes her council will transition into.
We want to become an extraordinary council. We want to have extraordinary people and be an extraordinary organisation and provide extraordinary services. And so that the community sees that we add value and that every rate dollar that we spend, they can see that it's adding value to their community and it's not being squandered.
When she first came into the job, she set goals. They included the long-term goal of having the council become more financially sustainable. There were also shorter-term goals that she's still working towards.
I'd like the community to see that we're a much more transparent organisation, that people understand what decisions we make, how we make those decisions and how they can input into those decisions. Within 12 months feeling more engaged in those processes because the resident survey showed us they felt that they weren't.
Dr. Carleen Edwards will be working to turn these goals into a reality. Marcus Gibbs, CTV News.
With the Cricket World Cup just a few months away, the question is, how do we get Canterbury children interested in cricket? The answer could be the Smart Schools program that officially launched in Lincoln today.
The countdown is on. The Cricket World Cup is 123 days away. Launched in Christchurch today, New Zealand Cricket and the Black Caps officially kicked off the Smart Schools program.
This is an amazing opportunity. We're lucky to have 4 Black Caps here. We launched a Cricket Smart today to start of term 4. Educational resource nationwide. 700 schools signed up now, but Canterbury's going well. Over 30% of all schools in Canterbury have signed up on day one of the launch. Free equipment to all the schools. Just great to see them playing and great to see them learning.
Aimed to engage children in the Cricket World Cup. Christchurch is one of 7 locations hosting the international one-dayers early next year. Head of the New Zealand World Cup sector, Therese Walsh, says this interactive program is for all Kiwi kids.
We started here in Canterbury where there's just such a great cricket following, but it's actually being rolled out across the country, so it's for any primary school really to sign up and to get a already made curriculum that they can use in their classrooms over the next couple of terms, and basically for kids across the country to understand and learn about Cricket World Cup.
The 22 Lincoln Primary School children got the chance to play a quick round of cricket with 4 Black Caps. Many of the students excited to be meeting their heroes. One of them was Christchurch local Corey Anderson.
I know when I was back at school, if something like this happened, you always get excited and you get a buzz about it and you know it's happening. And these kids have just come back from holiday as well, so probably first thing on their mind is probably not wanting to go back to school. But I guess something like this, makes it exciting.
All schools registered in the nationwide initiative receive free gear and a small session, developing the cricket skills in the schoolyard. Lincoln Primary School's Deputy Principal Tracy Riley says it's all about encouraging the students to get outside and get active.
The physical aspect, the importance of getting out there, and there's too many opportunities to sit in front of a PlayStation or TV these days.
From the presentation of the new gear to an exclusive question time with the 4 Black Cap players, these Canterbury primary students were excited to be involved.
Oh look, they're hyper excited. It's fantastic, and this is a school that's really behind its cricket, and it's just a great opportunity for the kids to get involved.
The program is divided into 8 different subject areas. Beginning in Canterbury schools today, General Manager of Amateur Cricket, Edward Shuttleworth, says cricket is a sport for everyone.
We want to appeal to every child out there. We want everyone to learn about the events, then we want to play the sport. We want to see active kids, and we want people to learn the fundamentals of the game and just enjoy the sport and see that anyone can play the game. It doesn't need to be complicated and it can be played anywhere in the schoolyard, on the beach.
The Cricket World Cup kicks off with a Black Caps vs Sri Lanka match on the 14th of February. Joel Batista, CTV News.
Coming up, hundreds took part in an awareness-raising run for motor neuron disease.
Arts 21 showcases the vast creative talent and minds that are making a name for themselves in Europe and beyond. Think outside the square with Arts 21.
Action Removals, offering short or long-term storage facilities, full packing services, comprehensive rates, all fully insured and with 6 vehicle sizes to choose from. Earthquake repairs? Action Removals pack, move, store and return your valuable possessions stress-free. Action Removals, a family business that has been operating in Christchurch for over 10 years. Action Removals, your one-stop removal service on time, every time. 0800 222 526.
For news, views and local stories, the Christchurch Star.
Hi, I'm Caitlin, the naturopath here at Staywell Pharmacy. Working with the pharmacist, I use herbal and nutritional medicine to recommend natural alternatives for your health. This can be to counteract any side effects of your medication, general health advice, or natural options for you and your family. I'm also available for consultations. So come in and see us at Staywell Pharmacy, 27 Shand Road, Hornby. Staywell Pharmacy, live well, stay well.
It's Blackwell's Mazda Demolition Sale, with prices on selected demonstrators that'll blow you away. BT50 4x4 from $39,995. CX5 from $35,595. Mazda 6 LTD from $49,995. CX9 from $55,495. And Mazda 3 from $30,800. The clock's ticking. These prices could blow any second. Call Blackwell's Mazda Sockburn today.
Kia ora!
Hey, my name's Victoria.
And my name is Nana. Climb aboard the Tiki Tour bus and join in on all the fun.
Every Saturday at 8 here on CTV.
Ka kite.
Enjoy the show.
More than 650 people participated in a support run over the weekend to raise awareness for motor neuron disease.
My name's Claire Riley. I'm 40. I live in Geraldine. 8 years ago I was working as a doctor in Melbourne at the Alfred, and a couple of weird things happened.
As a doctor, Claire started to notice things in her body going wrong.
I had trouble with doing up buttons, that sort of thing. And being a doctor, I noticed the muscles in my hands were wasting.
Diagnosed with motor neuron disease, within weeks, her life changed forever.
I got diagnosed within a couple of weeks. I went from being a busy doctor in a big hospital to being told I had a terminal illness.
Dr. Claire Riley was told she would only survive 2 to 4 years. 8 years on, she's grateful for the life she has. For the first time here in Christchurch, hundreds took to Hagley Park on Sunday, running in support of people with motor neuron disease.
So in New Zealand at any one time they would say there's about 1 in 15,000 actually affected, so about 300 people would be affected in New Zealand. Within the Canterbury West Coast and South Canterbury area we have 42 people affected, so that's the area that we're sort of wanting to get in behind and support.
Dr. Claire Riley says how she views life has really changed.
I think you've got to take a glass half full approach, because too many of us think our glass is half empty, and whenever I feel a bit sad or down, I remember there's always someone worse off.
One of the biggest struggles, Dr. Riley says, is the lack of financial support for people with terminal illnesses.
Perhaps if I worked a bank and got hit over the head, I might have assistance. But for a terminal illness, where there was no reason for it, I get nothing but an invalid's benefit.
Important for Dr. Riley to raise awareness.
It's been very rewarding, and so next year I'd like to see this event go nationwide, because we've had a lot of positive feedback.
For more information, head to www.mnda.org.nz. Joelle Batista, CTV News.
Rare historical footage is being revealed by a local film restorer. Emma Cropper has the story.
Taking a step back in time, a local film restorer has uncovered more than 3 hours of never-seen-before footage.
These films are living photographs. They really are important.
The films date back to the early 1900s, each reel containing more than 30 minutes of footage.
And these were all the films that were shot in the 1950s, 60s, 70s and even 80s. And they cover all the periods that we're talking about. They cover lots of history, and they will cover their family's history as well.
This film showing the Kiwi ingenuity of locals.
Well, it's about an electric car. He built an electric car, which was quite an amazing thing in those days.
Dated in 1945 when the war was wrapping up. You can see old Kaiapoi in the background. After driving down the road, the electric car parks outside of Kaiapoi's old Rialto Theatre.
That's one of the things of old film. You can't save it forever.
Larry Jamieson's the man behind restoring the historic footage. He believes there are more lost treasures like this one out there.
There are absolutely masses of films like this that are lying around in people's garages, in biscuit tins, in shoe boxes. They're all over the place, and many of them are now being left and just discarded.
Jamieson's been working in film since his teens, sparking a lifelong hobby in restoring old footage.
What I'm enjoying is seeing these wonderful historic buildings and places as they once were. But not only am I seeing it like that, I'm seeing how people actually enjoyed them and the fun they had, and watching people on the trams and things of that nature. So it's very, very interesting to me.
Immigrating from England in 2009, Jamieson purchased an old Sintel machine from Sir Peter Jackson. Weighing as much as his car, it took up most of the space in his double garage. After being broken in the 2010 earthquakes, the machine he's restoring on now is only one of 2 in New Zealand. The 2010 and 2011 earthquakes also changing the look of Kaiapoi and Canterbury.
We're all looking forward to our new towns and our new Christchurch, but preserving our past is very, very important, and that's what these films do.
Jamieson is hoping more locals will come forward with old reels, revealing more history from olden day Canterbury. Emma Cropper, CTV News.
Still to come, your local sport and weather updates.
The world has a great deal to tell. Journalists from across the world report on their home nations and the experiences of the people who live there. World Stories.
Just 7 minutes north of Christchurch, Silverstream is a unique residential community carefully planned and developed within a rich and natural environment. A family home or terraced villas, Silverstream offers a wide range of living options for every stage of life. The show homes are open. You can select your section, design your home and choose your builder. Purchase the house and land package or the terraced villa for streamside living. Silverstream, a community for everyone. It's closer than you think.
Avoid the monkeys when it comes to relocating. Trust A1 Movers, a family business since 1993 that guarantees a professional job every time. We carefully handle and wrap your valued items, ensuring they have a safe journey. Secure storage and insurance options are also available.
A1 Movers, the careful, caring moving company.
Oi! Mainland Minerals has been giving farmers the edge since the 1950s. Sophisticated and very accurate soil tests and a vast knowledge of what the soil needs means those using Mainland Minerals keep their costs extremely low while getting the very best results from their fertilisers. Fertiliser application is a science. Get it wrong and you pay. Get it right and it will pay you dividends. Mainland Minerals, proven over 60 years and one of the best kept secrets in farming. Contact the award-winning guys and turn your property around.
Your new home follows two families over 12 weeks through the process of building a brand new home. Hear from the homeowners and learn more from the builders and tradespeople as we follow their exciting journey. Your new home, Tuesdays at 8 on CTV.
Gordon Findlater joins us now with a review of the weekend's sporting activities.
Canterbury will go into this weekend's ITM Cup semi-final back in the win column after the side ended a run of 3 straight defeats yesterday in New Plymouth. Taking on top of the table Taranaki, the Cantabs found themselves staring at a 4th straight defeat, trailing 23 points to 9 with 15 minutes remaining. With Taranaki a man down, Canterbury seized the initiative to grab 2 tries in a matter of minutes, with both Matt Todd and Johnny McNichol dotting down. With the scores level at 23 all, it was Tom Taylor who got the winning points, with a penalty in the 76th minute sealing the win. Canterbury qualify for the semi-finals in 3rd spot, which mean they will take on Tasman on Saturday, with the winner meeting the victor of the Taranaki-Auckland game. Still with rugby, where semi-finalists have been found in the Heartland Rugby Championship. Mid-Canterbury's hopes of defending their Meads Cup title are still alive after the side defeated local rivals South Canterbury and Timaru. With the 2 Canterbury teams both locked on 20 points coming into the final round robin match, there was only room for one in the top 4 of the competition. The 24 points to 7 win means that Mid-Canterbury will travel to Gisborne to take on Poverty Bay, while unbeaten Buller will be at home to Horowhenua Kapiti in the other Meads Cup semi-final. South Canterbury will now play for the Lahore Cup, which they won last year, starting with a home semi-final to North Otago this weekend. To Rugby League, and the Canterbury Bulls ended their round-robin play on Saturday, thrashing the Northern Swords 106-14 at Denton Oval. Believe it or not, the massive win was not enough for this side, as they finished in 3rd in the competition, narrowly missing the final due to weaker points differential. However, Canterbury's final hopes may still be alive due to a technicality. Canterbury believe Counties Manukau used an ineligible player in their 36-22 win over the Bulls on September 27. Last week, New Zealand Rugby League upheld the appeal and Counties were docked 2 competition points. Counties then appealed to the Rugby League Appeals Committee, who overturned the decision. In the latest twist, Canterbury will now lodge an appeal with the Sports Tribunal of New Zealand, with a verdict expected by Wednesday. And finally tonight, the Mainland Pride grabbed a last-minute winner, courtesy of an in-swinging Ashley Ward corner, to get their defence of the National Women's Football League off to the perfect start. Ward, who grabbed the 90th minute winner in Canterbury's 2-1 win over the New Zealand development team, recently returned from college football in the United States. Meanwhile, our men's side, the Dragons, fell to a 4-1 defeat at the hands of defending champions Auckland City. The match was a pre-season game, with Canterbury still having another hit out in Timaru this weekend before the season starts proper. You're up to date with the latest in local sport. I'm Gordon Finlater for CTV Sport.
Time now to check out your regional weather.
Good evening, Canterbury. Let's take a look at your region's weather. First in Timaru, 22. Temuka and Geraldine hit one of the region's highs on 23. Methven, 22 degrees, while Ashburton and Rakaya hit a high of 20. Darfield reached 22 today, Leiston and Ralston hitting a high of 20 degrees. Looking now at Lincoln and Christchurch, they had a stunning day hitting 20. Over in Akaroa, they were slightly warmer on 21. In North Canterbury, Rangiora, Kaipoi and Amberley hit a sunny and warm high on 21. Top in the Hurunui, Culverden, Hanmer Springs and Cheviot hitting one of the region's highs of 23 degrees. At the very top in Kaikoura, they had the region's highs of 19. But what's in store for tomorrow? In Timaru, fine with sunny periods and some cloud and winds expected, hitting an overnight low of 9 and a high of 19 degrees. Ashburton, a mild Tuesday in store with some cloud at times during the day, but also some sunny spells expected with light winds, hitting 9 degrees overnight with a high of 20. Christchurch, fine and mild for your Tuesday as well, with some cloud at times with winds from most directions, 9 degrees overnight with a high of 21. At the very top in Kaikoura, a fine day ahead with sunny periods and high cloud and mild northerly winds, hitting 9 degrees overnight and a high of 23 throughout your day. And in other areas around the region, Temuka and Geraldine expect a high of 19 degrees. Methven and Rakaya cold for most parts of the day with a high of 19. Darfield 19, Leiston and Ralston cloudy with a high of 21. Lincoln a high of 21 and low of 9. Over in Akaroa, cloud for most parts of the day with a high of 20. Rangiora, Kaipoi and Amberley, cloudy for most parts of the day with a high of 21. Culverden, Hanmer Springs and Cheviot expecting the region's high of 22 degrees. And looking ahead for what's in store for the rest of Canterbury. Sunny periods at first on Wednesday, but becoming cloudy during the afternoon with cooler moderate southwesterly winds. Some drizzle patches possible during the evening. Warmer on Thursday with high cloud increasing and northeasterly winds tending moderate northwesterly during the day. High cloud increasing on Friday with warmer northwesterly winds freshening. Cloudy and cool on Saturday and Sunday with a few light showers possible at times. Expect moderate southwesterly winds on Saturday, then tending easterly on Sunday. And that is all for your region's weather. Enjoy the rest of your Monday.
And that's CTV News for Monday. I'm Grant Mangan. Good night.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.